What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're back with a car that I hope you guys are as excited about as me. It is, of course, my 1997 Ford Mustang Cobra. This is the 32 valve V8, and it's only got 11,000 miles on the odometer, guys. No BS. Take a look at the lights on this thing. Look how crystal clear they are. A little bit of rust. Of course, it was at a hurricane in Florida in a flood, and that's the reason why it's here today. I had to take that headlight out, and I bought another one because, unfortunately, that headlight was full of water, and this is what it turned into. When I was trying to make it nice, and yeah, I messed it up and totally destroyed it. This thing had a locked-up engine. We were able to get a breaker bar on it and get it somewhat loose-ish. We've got a brand new starter for it sitting over here because the starter is completely shot. So I went to the parts store and I picked up a brand new starter for this bad boy right here. Looks like it came with a new, hold on, what does this say? It says, do not remove this lead. Crimp and heat shrink to existing lead. Why? Why not just take it off and put the one on it from the car? Okay, that's different. Triple tested, tech support, a Duralast 3243S. Now this is an interesting starter because there are 3 bolts. One right there that looks like it's a lot of fun to get to, and then 2 over here look like they're a whole lot of fun to get to as well. So we are going to try in this video. You may notice it's got tires. We put a brand new set of tires on it. It had the original tires from 1997. They were all flat, so I needed to be able to roll it. Monkey Wrench Mike was here. I helped him with some stuff. He helped me get this car in here. A couple things we're going to do is we're going to take off this intake plenum right here. I am very curious to see what's going on with this car. I got a feeling, in fact, it's more than a feeling, this car has been parked for many, many years. This was obviously not running when the hurricane happened. Okay, this car, the people that owned it, they were elderly. Okay, they aged quite a bit since they had purchased it. The car was never driven, and I think ultimately it ended up just sitting until it probably no longer ran anymore, which is why when we bought it, the battery was long gone. Okay, so I've got a battery for it. I've got a starter. I got some relays that we need to replace on the interior. We need to clean up the fuse block. We need to put in a starter. But my main goal right now is getting these spark plugs out. We need to get the plugs out, and we need to see if we can turn the engine over by hand. It moves a little bit, but it doesn't move nearly as much as it should. So plugs have got to come out. I think we got to take this strut tower brace off, which looks like there's only a couple bolts there. I think it's good just to get this out of the way, get the intake out. Let's check the air filter once we start pulling this out and see if there's water in that to find out how high the water got. We know from the water line and from being inside the car that the flood waters got up to about right here. That's pretty high, guys. So the chances of this thing ever running again are probably slim to none, but for an 11,000 mile Cobra, we have to try. All right, so we've got the strut tower brace off. There's nothing but a bunch of 10 millimeters. Now we're gonna work on getting this air cleaner assembly off. I don't think any of this stuff has ever been off, and why would it? In only 11,000 miles, there's no reason for all of this stuff to have been messed with. Everything looks very factory on here. I'm gonna take off the mass airflow sensor connector as well. What else we got down here? We got a little, I think we're gonna go ahead and take this loose right here as well. And just try to get this, this rubber elbow detached. Oh, she's slipping. She's slipping. Yeah. With any luck, maybe. Oh, you got to be very careful. I obviously don't want to break any of this brittle plastic. We've also got a pipe right here. Looks like it needs to come off. Another crossover pipe right here. Well, let's take this little pad off here. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to pry on this stuff a little bit, try to pop these off, and get this elbow off. And then we'll find out if any water got into the air filter. See, that wasn't so hard. Just pull a few things off, and oh, water got into the air filter. In fact, you can clearly see where the water got. If you look at the corrosion on the bottom of this, you have a solid water line. You're looking right at it. Yep, water got into the intake. And take a look at this. We've got sand right here. And inside of there, oh, that's a hot mess. Oh boy, this thing, it really was deep, guys. It really was. Now, the good news is, look at those throttle blades. Look down in there. I don't see anything in there at all. It's nice and clean. So that's good. We definitely got water up in here. Let's take out this air filter. Let's see what it looks like. This is that air hog that was installed. Let's see how bad this thing looks. Honestly, it doesn't look bad. There is some rust and some residue down there on the bottom. But I mean, look at that. Honestly, it looks pretty good, guys. I'm gonna say this is probably all okay. The mass airflow sensor, is probably trashed on this, but we're finally to a place where we'll be able to get these coil covers, not coil covers, spark plug covers off. Oh, there's like crystallized salt and stuff. Well, it really does make me wonder how high the water actually got. Let's get these covers off on both sides and let's see what resides underneath. This should be interesting. So I didn't want to do this without you, but I've already noticed something different between this side and the other side. Take a look right there. You see the corrosion? Look at that. That is very corroded. Same thing over here. Also very corroded. The other side does not look like that. And if you take a look at the top ones, get out of here, man. Come on. Damn, Ford and their plastic pieces. Take a look at the tops. That doesn't look corroded, but the bottoms definitely corroded on this side. I'm telling you, it almost looks like the car had like tilted or something, was like leaning to one side or another. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and pull these out and see if there's any water in them. 2, 3. Oh, come on. 4. Getting some of these out of here is going to be a little fun, it looks like. Come on. It's a good sign it's dry. That plug wire is dry. This one is dry. Dry. And dry. All of these are dry. This is good news. Good news. Don't get too excited. We're not in the clear yet. Let's move on over to the other side. I've got high hopes. I know that realistically saving this is probably never going to happen. I can't help but want to save this car. Golly. This must be the clutch cable. And boy, is she in there good. Let me try to fight this out of here, guys. So more good news. Nothing is wet at all. That is great. That means that even though we know water got really high on this car, it did not come into the spark plug well. So the entire engine was not covered. We're going to need to get down in here and take out these spark plugs. I'm going to do that real quick, and we're going to see what the plugs look like. I promise you, some of them are going to be wet. I'm going to use a little electric to make this easier. Just one at a time. Pop these things out and see what they look like. Number 1. Guess what, guys? She's dry. She's dry and she looks good. This is a Motorcraft. A Motorcraft Platinum AWSF 32EG. That's one, guys. That's cylinder number 4. Let's dig into cylinder number 3. Also dry. Look at that. Another dry one. This is really good, guys. This is really good. That's cylinder number 3. Let's dig into cylinder number 2. No. I thought we had a wet one, but take a look. She's dry, guys. Oh man, we're almost half the engine in. This is great news. Another dry one. Okay, that's literally half of the engine, guys. Cylinders 1, 2, 3, and 4 are looking good so far. Time for 5, 6, 7, and 8. Dry. Oh, no way. Look. Dry. All right. That's cylinder number 5. Going into cylinder number 6 now. Also dry. Oh my goodness. Number 7. So number 7's a little interesting. That's oil. That's actually oil. Yeah. It's just a little bit of oil around the edge there, but you can see it's actually dry. The spark plug itself is dry. Okay. Last one. Got to hold this clutch cable out of the way. And, soaking wet. Bingo. One cylinder. That one is soaked. I mean, it is drenched, guys. It is drenched. So I have a theory. That explains it. We're going to need to get a borescope in here. I have a theory as to why only that one in the back is wet. I honestly expected to see at least the 2 back ones wet. But let me tell you my theory, and you guys can tell me in the comments below what you think. Obviously, come on, there we go. Obviously, if this car had been leaning, I think the water actually came through the exhaust and came up and got into the back. If you notice, the engine actually sits like this. So the manifolds are going to be sitting like this too. The first place, if water got high enough through the exhaust pipes and started coming up, the back 2 cylinders would be the first cylinders that they'd hit. Now, if those valves were closed on that side, you may not have got any water in if those things were sealed tightly. But if you had a valve open on this side, water would be free to flow right through the exhaust and straight into the combustion chamber. Let's dig out the borescope and let's take a look and see how that cylinder looks. So this is kind of what I was afraid of, guys. Yeah, do you see all that water in there? I know these lights make it just super hard, but that's all water. I can actually dive the camera down. Now we're on top of the piston, dead on the piston. You can see the water, kind of the debris in there just floating around. And if I shake the car, you could see the water shaking around. So there's a considerable amount of water in there. Yep, there is a considerable amount of water in there. How bad is it? Oh, it's not that bad. It's hard to see on here, but there's maybe an inch. It's still a lot of water, guys. That's a lot more water than you would want to have in your engine. Let's come over here. Let's drop it down into this cylinder right here. Just get her in there. I just want to take a look and see if anything looks suspect or suspicious. No, this actually looks good. Look at that. Nice and dry. You've got normal carbon buildup. I mean, honestly, looks great. Looks great. All right. Hey, I'll take what I can get, man. Let's go down to the next cylinder. And let's see what it looks like. Again, a little bit of carbon buildup. Nothing I wouldn't expect to find in any engine. There we go. Piston, again, clean. Cylinder wall's got beautiful cross hatching on it. I know it's probably difficult to see, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I expect that the rest of these are going to be completely fine, guys. Here's another one. Take a look at the cross hatching on this one. Oh, guys. Oh, that's a thing of absolute beauty. This is a new engine, guys. This is a 1997 that's got basically a brand new Cobra engine. Wow. That makes this honestly kind of rare, guys. How many 11,000 mile Cobras could there be running around? Oh, nope. Just like I thought. Look at that cylinder. Look at the corrosion. Oh my. Just what I thought, the back two cylinders. Look at that. Oh no. Look at the foam. Oh, that's bad. That is really bad. And there is what could potentially kill this entire project. Look at the debris. This is all like crystallized salt on top here. It's only the back two cylinders. That's all it takes though, guys. That's all it takes. Obviously this is going to be a real problem child. Take a look at the scope on the end of it. Look at the gunk on this, man. Take a look at this. Okay. Guys, give me a couple minutes here to kind of sit and think about my life choices and figure out what the next move is going to be. I've come up with an idea. I have taped a long piece of hose to the vacuum cleaner, my shop vac, and I'm going to crank it up and I'm just going to shove it down in there. I mean, it works. Listen. Look, it works. So we got to get down this fourth hole right here and try to get it into this cylinder, which is going to be a lot of fun. Ah, we got it, I think. No, this is going to take, it's going to take some playing around with, guys, but I think, there we go. I do believe we got it in there. Yeah, there it is. I just tried to spin the engine by hand and it's frozen. Like, we had it somewhat loose a couple weeks ago. I went on vacation, I came back, and she is just, she's locked up something fierce. All right, let's pull this out. Do we have anything on the end of it? Yep, got some goo. I don't know why it's not going to focus for you, but yeah, let's move along to the other side. Because this side we know for a fact has water in it. So let's just shove it down in there and see if we can get in there and suction. I hear it trying. Give me a minute, guys. We'll get her done. Well, it's taken some work and some MacGyvering. I had to put this clear hose. Take a look at this clear hose. And take a look at this. Oh yeah, we've been sucking up all kinds of crud out of this engine. Back two cylinders only, but I'm telling you, man, that's pretty rough, guys. That's pretty rough. So we're going to take the test long. We're going to throw her back down in there, guys. We're going to take a look and see what it looks like now. I'm pretty sure we got all the water out of that side. This side, though, it's this corner right here that scares me the most. Guys, I'm turning off the lights in here so that you can see this a little bit better. That is, that's incredibly bad, guys. That is incredibly bad. No wonder she's frozen. Yep. I did not realize it was this bad in here. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I know it looks like a lot of rust. I feel like there is a little bit of a saving grace here. It looks like a lot of rust, right? But if you look over there, it's slime. A lot of this just looks like slime in the cylinder. I don't think the cylinder walls are really rusted. Let's go back to the other side. I think if we put some Marvel Mystery oil down this thing, we might, guys, just maybe, we might be able to salvage this. Come on, get in there. There we go. See, this is the one that was full of water. And take a look at it now. All right, clearly it's damp in there, and that piston's way up. These back two, they need to soak. These back two really need to soak. There's a lot of grime in there, guys. I think we can save her. What do you guys think? Drop a comment below. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now, though. I'm going to drop some Marvel Mystery Oil down all of these cylinders. And we're going to let it soak, rock it a little bit. And I'll probably hang it up for tonight and come back tomorrow. Now, since the back two cylinders are my biggest concerns, I don't want to put a whole bunch into the front ones. But we're going to put just a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy with it because I really want to save this for the back two cylinders. Marvel Mystery Oil works great. I couldn't tell you what's in it. Obviously, it's a mystery, right? You're not supposed to know. It probably tells you right on the packaging exactly what is in it. Let's scroll you guys down here just a little bit. Let's bring this over right here. A little bit more. Just help lube everything up. And then these back ones, man, I'm gonna give these back ones I'm gonna give these back ones a bit. You know what I mean? We're just gonna do it to it on them back ones, man. It's probably way more than she needs, but that's all right. This is good stuff. I really want this to soak. And before we take off for the night, I am going to just kind of rock the engine a little bit, see if we can get any movement out of this thing at all. Boy, the smell of this stuff is something else. I do kind of wonder how it works. I just know it works great on these flood cars, man. Gloop, gloop. She's taking it on down. All right. And we know that we only have an issue with the rear cylinders. So really, the Marvel Mystery Oil in these front cylinders, it's not going to do anything to help us with our current situation. All right, but I do want things to be lubed up as good as possible. I really dumped it in that one. Boy, we really laid it down in that one. All right. I think I'm going to go back to the one on the rear corner over here, passenger side. This one was by far the worst. I just wanted to make sure I had enough to go into all the cylinders. Now that we have, I'm going to pour more in this one. It's a pretty big bottle right here, guys. We're probably going to overfill it. It's probably going to spill out, but that's okay. I want this cylinder just oozing with Marvel Mystery Oil. That's it. What is this, 32 ounces? Yeah, we put a 32-ounce bottle of Marvel Mystery Oil down this engine. I've got my handy... We'll probably use this again. I'm not going to tear all this off. I'll clean it up a little bit, but I think we're probably going to use these hoses again to suck a lot of that Marvel Mystery Oil out of here. Take this funnel out. There we go. We'll sit it right here. And I'm going to put a breaker bar to this thing, guys. And I'm going to see if I can get any kind of movement. Even, dang it, I was never good at basketball. Even if it's just a little bit of movement, guys, anything helps when you've got an engine that's totally locked up like this, man. Even if you could get just an inch of movement to just help break things loose, anything you can get out of it is going to help. All right, guys, moment of truth. Breaker bar, we're going to throw it down on here. We're going to see if we can get any movement out of this engine at all, because she's frozen solid. Oh, it's already moving. Are you serious? It's already trying to move. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. She's that Marvel Mr. Oil. Oh, yeah. We're spinning it backwards, which you really shouldn't do, but oh, yeah. This, guys. Oh, yeah, there, she's stuck again. That's all right. The goal is just kind of rock her back and forth a little bit and try to free. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? She's in gear. She's in gear. Dummy. Yeah, I think it's in gear. Let's find out. Yep. It was in gear. Guess what? The engine... Oh, I'm an idiot. The e-brake is on, I think. It's in gear. Obviously, the engine's not going to want to turn over very far like that, right? Yep, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Come on, girl. Come on. Oh, and she's stuck. Yep. Yeah, we're not going to get past that. All right. Well, backwards. Yeah, it's getting better. And then it's stuck again. Yeah. So we're still not getting nearly the movement out of it that we were able to get when we first got the car. We started breaking it loose. It really started turning over pretty freely. Unfortunately, it's not the case right now. I feel like if we just sit here. Oh, there we go. We just broke past it. All right. Don't get too excited. You're going to get ahead of yourself. You're going to break something. Okay, with that said, I'm getting excited and I'm going to continue and probably break something. Come on. Yeah, I'm way too excited to be doing this right now. I want this car brought back so bad, guys. So bad. Oh, nope. Come on. Backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. And then that's where it was frozen. It probably still is. We're going to try it again. There it goes. We made it. Guys, we just broke through it. We just broke through it. Yeah. We just broke through it. Yep. Come on, old girl. Oh, my heart is racing right now, guys. My heart is absolutely... Come on. Ugh. And she's stuck again. I don't know why I get so excited with stuff like this, but the thought of taking a car that was like 60% underwater and bringing it back to life, getting it to possibly run again, maybe even drive again, just that's what does it for me, man. It's stuff like this. It just this would be easier to do if we were under the car. There we go. I'm not being too crazy with it. All right, I don't want anybody to think I'm being violent or anything like that. I'm not. I'm going to leave this Marvel soaking overnight. But the more I can get it to free up now, the better chance we have of the Marvel being able to really do some good work while it rests overnight and into tomorrow. I wish I had a... Here we go. I mean, you can see how free she's spinning right now. And I wish we weren't spinning it backwards, but, you know, what's that saying? Wish in one hand and the other. See which one gets full first? I'll take what I can get. There we go. Oh, we're spinning so much better now, guys. Oh, there it is. We just broke through. Did you hear it? Did you hear the gurgle? That's from that side. That side was sticking and it just broke loose. It just broke loose. I don't want to get too excited, but guys, we might, maybe. I'm going to grab a ratchet. I'm being very preemptive about this, but I have a hunch that maybe, possibly, we might have just broken through to the point where we can use a regular ratchet and just kind of crank this over. I would love to get a single revolution out of this. I really would. If I could get a revolution out of this, I would be so happy. It would just make my freaking day. Oh, wow. No. Like I said, I was probably being a little preemptive. Okay. I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. I've been out here wrenching on a bunch of different cars today. And, you start getting tired, and you start getting excited, and you start making mistakes. And that's not good for anybody. So we're going to put this back on. I'm going to try just... You can hear it. Yeah. She has freed up so much. So much. I'm going to take off this, flip it. There we go. There we go. Oh, jeez Louise. Wow, okay. Hey, guys. Hey. Over here. Whoa. Man. Yeah, guys, we are spinning the same direction now. I think we got her. I think we got her freed up to the point that we can actually... Yeah. Guys, we've gone a full rotation now. We have gone a full rotation, and she's still spinning. So, there we go. Come on. There it is. Look how easy it's turning now. All right, I don't want to waste your time with doing this all night. Obviously, we've gotten a rotation out of it. Now we're going more than one rotation. I'm going to do this for a little bit longer. This is not fun. Look at that. Look how easy look how easy she's turning now. We broke through it. There it is. See, if you just thrown a starter on this thing, it would never have worked. Never. In fact, you probably would have bent a rod trying it like this. I'm not feeling any binding at all. Nothing. Nice and smooth. Pistons seem to be going up and down like they're supposed to. There we go. All right. It's the little victories, guys. The little victories. So I'm at a point now where I'm going to stop for the night. It's almost midnight. I've been out here working all day. So we're going to shut the lights. Actually, let's turn these lights on real quick. Let's just turn it on this one. Let's see if we can peep down in here. Can't really see much. You can see the holes, but I don't really see anything in them. They're not overflowing with marble. It's kind of got me wanting to put the test long back in there and just have another peek. I can see the marble in that one. I can see it in that one. That one I can't see anything. I can't see anything in that one either. Well, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Not to worry. I'm going to be back in the snap of a finger, guys. We're going to come back out here. We're going to work on this thing some more. Probably go ahead and get that starter installed since the engine is spinning over freely. I want to suck out as much of the marble as I can before we start trying to put it together. Obviously, we put a starter in this thing and start cranking it. With all that marble, it's It's going to eject it. That might actually be for the best. With the gunk that's sitting on that passenger side rear cylinder, it might be best just to let the compression kind of blow it out. Throw a rag or something over it and just let it shoot all that crud out of there, guys. So the goal in this video, I don't know if we're going to get it running. That's asking a lot, but the goal is to get a starter in it, make sure all the fuses and relays are good, and try to get the thing to at least crank. If we can get the engine cranking under its own power, I'm going to call that a win. If we can actually get this thing running, guys, it'll be nothing short of a miracle. All right, guys, so we're back. It is the next evening. I actually stayed here until 3 o'clock in the morning. I was supposed to leave, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it, man. I got quite a bit done. But before we get back to the Cobra, I got some new parts in for the 57 Chevy. Not all of this is for the 57 Chevy, but most of it is. I've got a lot of work ahead of me here, guys. This just came in today. This is my Edelbrock air gap chrome intake manifold, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely chromed out to go along with the CVF Racing chromed out everything. And then I even went so far as to find these chrome plated double hump ram horn style, I think that's what they call them, exhaust manifolds. Take a look at these. These are cast iron, guys. These aren't aluminum. These are the real deal. These are cast iron, and they're heavy, but it's all chrome plated. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is going to look so good under the hood of the 57. Oh my goodness, that weighs a freaking ton, man. Along with the chrome valve covers, the chrome Edelbrock high performance fuel pump, the chrome air cleaner, the chrome valve covers are sitting right there. I mean, as I've gone crazy. The coolant hoses right here, instead of hoses, we're going to use metal. Got new spark plugs, a chrome fuel pump. I don't know what you call this, the mounting plate, I guess. Yep. I got a lot of work to do, guys. I got to get back on the 57 here really soon. But I wanted to show you what I did last night. So off camera, just to try to save everybody some time, I went and I did a little bit of wiring work. I took every fuse out of the fuse box and I cleaned it all up and I put the fuses all back in. I replaced the flasher relay module and we now have turn signals. I cleaned the ground to the fuse box. That helped, and I figured I might as well do the big job, the one I wasn't looking forward to doing today, and that is this starter. I don't know how well you could see it, but yeah, it's right there. Brand new starter, and let me tell you, as far as starters go, that is one of the most difficult starters I've ever replaced. This is how I had to replace the starter. I had to use a camera. I had to use my borescope. I had to run the wire. Let me see if I can get this light on for you guys. I had to run the borescope up, and over. I don't even think I can get you guys up there. Honestly, I don't know if I can or not, but I had to get up there, and it took all kinds of extensions, swivels, short socket, deep sockets, everything you can imagine to get to that, because it's got 3 bolts, guys. And 2 of those bolts, you cannot see them, and the top bolt is almost impossible. You literally have to get to it through the motor mount and just under the exhaust manifold over here. And it takes swivels and a lot of time. I scraped my arms up like you wouldn't believe, but it's done. I cleaned up the wiring. I reinstalled everything. I got every bolt back in it the way it should be. And I wanted to give you a quick look under this car because you guys have never seen it before. It is an 11,000 mile car, remember that. And it does spin freely now. I left it soaking overnight. It's been sitting for about 12, 13 hours. Not a drop. That Fram filter's got to go though, right? Yeah, we're gonna put a proper filter on that. We got a Motorcraft filter. It's gonna go on it. But take a look at the sway bar end links. Look at the tie rod ends. The underside of this car is in beautiful shape. Absolutely beautiful. We even have markings still on the transmission from the factory. And look at the exhaust. Take a look at this exhaust. Yes, it's a little rusty for being, underwater, but take a look at this exhaust, guys. And the engine, it still has stickers on the engine. Take a look. You see that right there? And there's more stickers. I don't know if I can get you guys up there, but right there on the dipstick, stickers still attached. Look at the rag joint on the steering. Look at the steering shaft itself. Beautiful, guys. And the whole underside of this car is coated. Rust prevention. Look at this. The whole, I mean all of it. The whole underside of this car got an undercoating. Probably should change the oil in the trans. In fact, it even still has writing right here on the side of the transmission. We should probably drain and fill the transmission along with change the oil. But here's the other thing. Take a look at the exhaust. This is all factory exhaust, guys. Take a look at the trans mount. It's perfect. Everything under here is still in new condition. It's dirty, but it's still in new condition. The exhaust is still shiny. Even has writing on the crossover pipe, on the H pipe. Look, this is still like new. Look, there's writing on the mufflers, and that's not just the stamped writing. It actually has a part number like FGZC52330DD. Now, this is interesting. Look at the floor, you see a drip. Take a look at the back of the exhaust. You know what this is? That is transmission fluid. So apparently, on the passenger side rear cylinder head, the very last cylinder, I dumped over a quart of transmission fluid into it because I couldn't figure out where it was going. I'm an idiot. It was late and I was tired. I dumped it in there and I got to thinking, I'll bet the piston's damaged or the rings are damaged. No, what it was is the exhaust valve was open. And you know what happened? I dumped probably a quart and a half total into that rear cylinder. With the exhaust valve being open, it just dumped. And so that means the exhaust is literally full of transmission fluid and Marvel Mystery Oil. Here's the rear end of this thing, the rear sway bar. Take a look. Look. Here's the perches, the insulators for the rear coil springs, like brand new. Bushings, everything under here. Exhaust hangers. These are brand new, guys. Shock absorbers, bushings, everything, lines. And look up here. I was so worried that we were going to have rust issues. Guys, this car's got no rust. I mean, a tad bit of surface rust here and there. That's it. Everything else is in good shape. Fuel filter, right there. I got a new fuel filter. I bought a Motorcraft, going back with as many original parts as possible. But what I'm trying to say is the underside of this is in spectacular condition. It is absolutely beautiful under this car, guys. It's in really good shape. So I'm very, very hopeful that she's going to run. But before we try to start it, I do have some things I need to do. I've got a FL820S oil filter for it. I've got a Motorcraft FG1060 fuel filter. We've got Mobile 1 5W20, and then we've got a Duralast brake switch. I found out last night the brake light switch on this car is bad, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that as well. The goal in this video is to get it to crank. If we can get it running, that's even better, but I'm not going to put a whole lot of faith in getting it running, guys, but getting it to crank would mean the world to me. So I'm going to go ahead and set you guys up. I'm going to get my drain over here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the oil and the oil filter. Here's the starter that came out of it, in case you guys wanted to see it. Look at all the sand. Literally, we got some of Florida here with us, guys. Yeah, this starter's completely locked up. It does nothing at all, as you can expect. Take a look at the gear in there. It's all rusty, and it doesn't... I mean, it's frozen, guys. So she was never going to work. I don't remember what size this is. I'm thinking it's like a 15 for the drain plug on this. Let's find out. We're already under here. Oh, it's bigger than a 15. Good Lord. We're already under here. We might as well go ahead and change the oil filter and probably go ahead and drain the transmission while we're at it. Might as well get it done. The transmission takes ATF. It's a 16. That's an oddball size. And I better get this out of here before I forget that it's even in here. Here we go. 16 mil, and let me get a drain pan and everything, and we'll find out if this oil pan's got any water in it. Well, I wish I could say that I didn't cheat, but I did. I try to save time whenever I can for video editing, and I already loosened up the oil filter so I can get it off a little easier. That was a bear. This, though, I barely cracked loose the drain bolt. You guys see what I see? Water. Oh yeah, there's water in this engine for sure. I didn't think water got in here, guys. I really didn't. I was absolutely certain that water did not get into this engine. Ugh, I was wrong. I was wrong. I mean, obviously water got into the cylinders, but I guess I've just underestimated how wet this thing actually got. So let's put our little 16 on here, and I'm gonna have to get this drain pan over here because I got a feeling she's gonna be a gusher, guys. Here we go. Are you ready for this? I'm not sure I am. Hopefully it makes it all into the pan. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The question is how much water is in here. Oh, not much. Oh, there's little chunks. That's not bad. That's not bad. Woo, okay. I thought she was going to be completely full of water, guys. She wasn't. She barely had any water in there at all. That's good news. Oil looks nice. It's golden. Looks relatively new. I'm glad we didn't try to crank this thing over and fire it up with water in it. I'm really glad that we did this the right way, guys. So I'm going to change out this oil filter real quick with my new Motorcraft. And we'll button this up, then we'll move over to the transmission. I almost guarantee you the transmission is probably full of water as well. I had a feeling the transmission was full of water too, and well, take a look. Yep, I think we need to raise this up just a hair. Oops, I just bumped you guys, sorry. There we go. This ought to be fun. The question is how much water is in it, because it's going pretty good right now, guys. Oh, jeez. Okay, a little bit, but kind of like the engine, it wasn't too bad. Let's take the top one off to help it drain a little. Whoa! Oh man. Okay, there we go. We got, oh, we got it. We got this, man. We got this. You know, it honestly doesn't look that bad. It's still nice pink. It's automatic transmission fluid. We're just gonna let her drain. Here we go. Oh, I got a mess to clean up now. Boy, that sucker shot out, didn't it? Good deal. Good deal. These are the two biggest components of the car right here, guys. The engine and the transmission. We got both of them drained. I'm going to pump this full of some fresh synthetic, what is it, Valvoline Max Life or whatever. We're going to pump it full of this stuff, guys. And we'll button this up under here. I'll clean up my mess, and then we can go topside, where it's pretty much time to clean up the engine and do our first crank. See if we can get it to do anything. Well, as I expected, what's coming out of the fuel filter here is pretty gnarly, guys, and it doesn't smell particularly good. I think the gas gauge was right. I think it had half a tank of gas. You see all that brown? That's dirt and gum. That's varnish. All that brown stuff in there, and it's literally just pouring out. And if you look at the color of the gas coming out of it, it's a brown color, guys. And it smells freaking awful. Ugh. There's the fuel filter up there just draining away. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly, guys. That is pretty gnarly. Ooh, the smell. I'm telling you, the smell will get you, man. I'm going to let that just sit there and drain for a while. Oh, guys, I got the transmission filled back up again. We've got the oil filter on, drain plugs. Everything's all tightened down. So she's ready. I just got to get that fuel filter changed. As soon as we do that, we can drop her down to the ground. First thing we're going to do is put some oil in it so that there's no possibility of forgetting. And then, I mean, I think we're getting really close to cranking her over and seeing what she does. We're going to crank it first with no spark plugs, guys. Let's just take it easy on the old girl. Get her cranking. Hopefully it does crank. Blow all the crap out of the cylinders, then we can clean up the spark plugs, put them back in, and put the coil or the plug wires back on. And you know, if all goes well, she might actually run in this video. All right, we got the old filter out. I'm just kind of curious, like, what is this going to look like? In which direction? The flow goes this way. The date on this filter is 02 of 97. February. Hold on, let's turn it this way. You see. Come on, there it is. 0297. The original filter. So let's see. Looks pretty clean that way. Ah, look at all the gunk coming out of it that direction, though. Yeah. Oh, that's nasty. I'd be curious once this is drained out to see if I can blow through it. I kind of suspect we maybe had a fuel restriction going on here, guys. I should probably take this outside. This does not smell good, but look at the just nasty coming out the bottom of this. Turn it the other way. I'm going to wipe it off real quick, guys. I'm going to try to blow through it. You guys want to know something funny? Actually, it's not funny. It's stupid. So, obviously, when you replace a fuel filter, you need to replace these little clips, right? These stupid little clips, they love to break. You can see that undercoating all over them, right? Guess what didn't come in the package? Can you guess? Did you guess that we got no clips with a fuel filter? None. So this is what I had to get. It's this this right here. It's a Dorman 800-015, and it came with brand new clips. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get you guys up here. We got the fuel filter in. I've got the lines in. Just a matter of plugging these little plastic clips in, getting them in place. There we go. There's one. And oh, it's hard to see this one, but I think it's going to go something like this. Wish I could see better. There we go. Clips in. There we go. She's all tightened down. She's ready to go. So we can finally get her on the ground, guys. This is exciting. I'm going to pick up my tools, because I got tools literally everywhere over here. I'm going to pick up all these tools. We're going to move everything out of the way. We're going to drop this car down, because we are finally ready to start working on the top side of the engine. It is time. Moment of truth. I've got a hot battery fully charged in it. One thing that has changed is yesterday I checked fuel pressure right here at this nipple. And it had some, but it had almost no fuel pressure at all, guys. It was really weak, so I knew that even if we could get it to crank over, there's no way it's going to run. I was hoping we didn't have to change the fuel pump. Thankfully, after changing the fuel filter, I just checked it, push the little valve in with this needle, and boy, she got fuel pressure now. Now the coils are not installed, or the plug wire is not installed. Spark plugs are not installed. I've got these towels. This thing's going to make a freaking mess. I already know it's going to shoot oil everywhere. So what I did is I sat towels over the cylinders, over the spark plug wells, and I put heavy tools on top of them. Now, I do know that the brake switch is bad on this. You know that because we have a hot battery, and if I push the brake pedal, nothing happens. So my thought is it shouldn't crank. At least I don't think so. We're about to find out. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. We have fifth. What? First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Reverse is a little sticky there. I'm nervous. It cranked. It cranked. Guys, I live for this. I'm serious about that. I live for this. I really do. I live for taking cars that are completely dead, cars that nobody else would even think about trying to put back on the road, and bringing them back to life, giving them life again. What was that? Anyway, I literally live for this. Okay. What is that? Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. Let's not destroy the new starter. Do we have anything coming out of the tailpipes? Not yet. I mean, there's no compression, so I'm not surprised. But I was a little curious. We had transmission fluid starting to blow out of the exhaust pipes. So, thankfully, it doesn't look like we made a mess. My idea of throwing towels over the engine seemed to have worked. Let's move this out of the way. We can move these towels now. And we'll want to get the borescope and put the borescope back down these cylinders. I am very, very curious. Oh, you can smell that gas. Wow. I'm very curious to see what these rear two cylinders are looking like right now. So here is the driver's side cylinder. I mean, it's a little wet, but I mean, overall it looks pretty good. No complaints. What's left over in there, that'll get blown right out when we crank it over at the spark plugs. And let's go check out the passenger side, because that one was the worst. All right. I mean, I don't know what you would expect, but it looks pretty good consider. I mean, I know there's floaties. There's like stuff floating around in the liquid in there. It's going to be a little rough, but I think it's all right. It's cranking over healthy. I'm confident that we're in a good spot right now, guys, to throw the spark plugs back in it and hook the plug wires up. And it's going to be a moment of truth. It's either going to run or it's not. So we've put a lot of time, a lot of work into getting this card where it is right now. I cleaned up all of the spark plugs. I put all of the plug wires back in. Plugs are back in. And now it's kind of up to the car. There's two ways we could go about this. One is get the car up in the air in neutral and turn the engine over by hand, let it build compression and make sure we don't have anything sticking or any problems. Or we can do the wrong thing and just jump into it and turn the key. I'd say slowly, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. I'm kind of tempted to just put the key in and make sure she's in neutral. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Reverse. We've got all gears again. It's a moment of truth, guys. Do or die. Ready? Oh my goodness. It ran. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. It ran. It ran. Oh, wow, this car is full of smoke. The clutch doesn't work. It was working, now it isn't. That's fine, whatever, it runs. It's not happy. Whew. Oh, wow. Oh, man. She runs. That's incredible. That is incredible. Woo. Oh, my goodness. Okay. She's not running great, but at least it's running. Okay. So, it runs. Not particularly happy, and I'm going to show you why. I told you earlier, I dumped probably 1.5 quarts of Marvel Mystery Oil and transmission fluid down that passenger side rear cylinder, and it went into the exhaust. Well, take a look, you'll notice the exhaust, number one, there's water, all right, but the exhaust is still smoking. Take a look under here. All of that is all milkshake transmission fluid pouring out of the mufflers. I'm not even kidding. One thing I've never experienced before, I've never dealt with this, is my clutch is frozen. All right, I'm gonna try to start it up again. It should run. I bought a computer that never showed up too, so I guess I don't need it because she runs. I'm gonna call them, tell them I want my $200 back. It's been like almost 3 weeks, still no computer from Flagship 1, I think is the name of it. Surprisingly, the theft light is out and everything. It seems like, oh, when you turn this on, something's trying to work. Anyway, let me show you what happens here. When it's not running, I can get, well, now reverse is out. Great. The one gear I really need right now. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, no reverse. But once it starts, you can hear it's stuck. You know what I mean? And when I try to put it in gear, you hear it rev up. It's not happy. Check engine light's finally on. I got no mass airflow sensor, no air intake temperature sensor. I have heard, I don't know if this is true, but I have heard that sometimes if you try to, you can't. I was gonna say, if you try to like push the car with the clutch engaged, or pop the clutch, see, that's risky though. I got no help. I got nobody here with me. So if this car, if the clutch doesn't come back, I think this is how you do it, guys. You like push it down a hill and then just pop the clutch. You know, put it in reverse, have somebody push it, and then you drop the clutch once it gets going down a hill, and hopefully that unfreezes the, there's a reverse. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, you can hear it kind of grinding. If I let off the clutch, it goes away. But as soon as I push it, hear that? Yeah. Oh, she revs now. Oh, I am so freaking excited about this. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited about this one, guys. I'm not even kidding. I am incredibly excited about this car. I still have to put the brake light switch in. We got to burn all this trans fluid and water out of it. That's going to take a long time. Like, this is something that takes a lot of time, and you really need to get going up to highway speeds, let this thing breathe to start blowing all that out. It's going to be a mess all over my floor. That's fine, the car is worth it. But I need to put the brake light switch in, and then we have another issue. The parking lights don't work. The headlights work, brights, dims, turn signal work, and I've already tested the brake lights. I removed the brake light switch and I jumped the plug, and the brake lights all came on. So the brake lights work too, I just gotta replace the switch. But the parking lights do not work, and the instrument cluster lights do not work. She's running great, guys. I can't believe this. I really didn't have much hope for this car. I'm sure everything I'm breathing in right now is not a carcinogen. Look how smooth she's running. Look at this. 11,000 miles. You're looking at a car that was 60% underwater that is currently running, and it actually running well. Well, I've left her sitting here running for a while. You can see, even though it's still smoky, the smoke has cleared up a lot compared to what it was. But the car is doing something new right now. It's blowing smoke rings. It's the coolest thing. I've never seen a car do this before. Take a look. Watch, just watch it, and you'll see it. It's got this weird poof. You can hear it. You see the smoke ring? It's literally blowing smoke rings. Look at that. Smoke rings. I never in my life have I seen a car do this before. I'm assuming it may just be because the exhaust is probably pretty plugged up with all of that fluid. I may have gone a little too heavy on it, guys. I didn't want to take any chances. There, look under there. I mean, I've got a mess. It's still pouring all that fluid out. I was talking to Sam Crack, and he had a Ferrari with a stuck clutch, and he was telling me how he got his working, and I tried it myself and it didn't work, and I'll show you guys real quick how it goes. Temperature's a little on the high side. Maybe the cooling fan isn't kicking on. I don't think the cooling fan's kicking on. So as you can see, when I push the clutch, it makes a lot of noise. Right? Not good. Okay, shut the car off. Put it in first gear. Hold the clutch in and try to start it, and the car is gonna jerk. All right, she's gonna go forward. See? Pull it out of first gear, throw it in reverse, and yeah, the car jerks. Back to first gear. Car jerks forward. Reverse. Backward. Forward. Now this is really hard on the starter too, so it's not recommended. But when you're trying to free the clutch, this clutch is obviously... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Yeah. Oh, I was almost in gear. I was almost in gear. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I thought I was. No, I wasn't. Okay, well, I think that's gonna be a wrap for this video, guys. There's plenty of more to do to this car, but the big thing is done. I gotta kind of stand here for a while and keep my eye on it, make sure it doesn't catch on fire. Obviously, I need to shut her down because the cooling fan is not coming on. Probably the salt water destroyed the motor, and the cooling fan would be my guess. I gotta let the shop air out for a little bit. I've got this ginormous mess to clean up now. If you guys have any advice on how to free a sticking clutch without removing the transmission, I'm not opposed to it. If I gotta pull the transmission, I gotta pull the transmission. If we gotta throw another clutch in it, we gotta throw another clutch in it. You know, it is what it is. Car is worth it. Good pressure on the cooling system, but yeah, she's getting a little warm, and I'm gonna have to check the wires to this cooling fan. It may just be, I don't want to stick my fingers in it. Is it frozen? No? Cooling fan ain't frozen. It's just dead as a doornail. And I think the wire harness for that is like right, somewhere like right there. Can't tell for sure. So we'll let her cool down. I'll probably fire it back up a time or two more. I'll probably put the mass airflow sensor and everything back on it just to see. I got a feeling that mass airflow sensor is dead too. But hey man, listen, she runs. She does not drive. But I don't know, maybe in the next video we get it figured out. You know what I mean? I'd like to get the parking lights figured out. That's a big deal. We need parking lights. We need to pull the whole interior out of it. We need to try to get the convertible top working. The seats don't work. I mean, there's a long way to go with this car is what I'm trying to tell you guys. But getting it running for the first time, and I promise you, the people that owned this car before the Hurricane, they had not had this car running, guys. There wasn't even a battery in it, man. The battery was gone. They had the hold down and everything bolted down. It's not like they removed it because of the flood. They had it already bolted down with no battery in it. And the smell of the fuel, half a tank of like rotten fuel was sitting in this thing. And now I got half a tank of premium fuel in it, you know, trying to kickstart everything. This car had been parked for a really, really long time. So this is an interesting one because it's kind of like a barn find. It was sitting on rotting tires, and not rotted, they were completely rotted tires from 1997. The original tires were still on this car from 1997. Completely flat, the cords were out, they were off the rims, the beads were broken. Like this car, it's like a barn find car. It's like you found an 11,000 mile Cobra that was in pristine condition. The only catch is that it was about 60% under salt water in a hurricane, right? That's we've come a long way is what I'm trying to say, guys. This is absolutely amazing. And I hope you guys are excited about this project as I am, because my goal now that it's running is to drive it. I gotta get this transmission to work, and we have to drive this car. We gotta take this thing out and just enjoy it, man. All the windows work. There's still some electronics problems, but guys, I think we scored big on this. I got this car for like $4,000, $4,500, something like that, for an 11,000 mile Cobra. I'm thrilled to death, guys. So if you enjoy this type of content, well, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more. I got lots of flood cars coming, including more on this one. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. Stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.